The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight for DC News Now at 10 on DCW 50. I'm Tasmin Mahfouz.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Flanagan. We begin tonight. New video out of the district showing an armed carjacking. Take a look at this. It happened early Sunday morning at a gas station in Northwest DC. Police say 5 suspects got out of this black BMW here on your screen, stopped the victims who were pumping gas. 2 suspects stole the victims' car keys and drove off. The other 3 suspects left in the black BMW. A reward of up to $10,000 is being offered to anyone who can give information that leads to an arrest. And more violence in D.C., this time with a tragic milestone. D.C. police announcing the city has passed its 200th homicide of the year. Yeah, the total includes 2 deadly shootings just hours apart today. In Northwest, a teenager shot to death leaving his high school. Our Daniel Hamburg is in the Trucks and Circle neighborhood in Northwest with what we know at this hour.
Police say that teenager was walking home from Dunbar High School, which is just a couple blocks this way, when he got here to the intersection of P Street and New Jersey Avenue. He started talking with the group, according to police. Someone in that group took out a gun and fired multiple times.
I'm tired of it. Like, at what point does it stop?
Jahai Green's son goes to Dunbar High School, and he's fed up with the violence nearby. He wants to see preventative policing.
Walk and be out here really on the beat and really in the mix with everybody else, and then they'll be more worried about it.
Acting Police Chief Pamela Smith showed her frustration after a teenage boy was shot and killed around 3:45 Tuesday afternoon.
We are sick and tired of the gun violence in this city.
Just an hour later, a man was killed on Savannah Street Southeast, caught in the crossfire of people in 2 cars shooting at each other. Smith calls both deaths senseless.
Each one of these homicide victims is a member of our community. They are more than just numbers. Each one is someone's family member that was taken too soon.
Smith says while preparing for her confirmation hearing, she found 8 homicides initially ruled undetermined that weren't included in the total homicide count, which has surpassed 200 for the year.
We got 209 murders. Like, something's going on in this city. It's an epidemic, man. It's sad.
Smith says they've been working with the ATF to track down illegal guns, but they need community help.
There are a lot of illegal guns coming into the district, and there are people that know who's committing these crimes, and we need folks to just stop this senseless act of gun violence in our district.
According to the DC Police Union, this is the first time since 2002 to 2004 that we've seen more than 200 homicides 3 years in a row. Tomorrow, Acting Chief Pamela Smith goes before the council for her first confirmation hearing. In Northwest, Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
And the principal of Dunbar High School sent a letter to parents earlier today. The letter reads in part this: I am devastated to share that a Dunbar High School student was killed. This loss will surely raise many emotions, concerns, and questions from our community, especially from our students. And we want to support everyone through this time.
Meanwhile, data from D.C. police shows violent crime is up 37% from this time a year ago. That includes a nearly 30% increase in homicides, not including the shootings today. There's been a 65% increase in robberies from about 1,500 to more than 2,500. Property crime, meanwhile, is up 26%.
And with just a month into the school year, Prince George's County school leaders held a meeting to address school safety concerns. It comes after a 16-year-old was shot and killed walking home just a few feet away from her high school. Just last week, a student was found with a loaded gun at a high school. Our reporter Yamari Sase tuned into that meeting and also spoke to parents to hear their concerns.
We sent our children here in these facilities to get educated, not to come home in a body bag.
Safety is a top concern for parents of Prince George's County public school students.
What are y'all doing to make sure that, when I give you my child, that they come home in the manner that I sent them to you?
Recently, a high school student was found with a loaded gun on school property. And just 2 weeks ago, a 16-year-old girl was shot and killed just a few feet away from her high school. Despite new changes like clear backpacks and metal detectors in some schools, parents say the security enhancements aren't happening fast enough.
That's not enough. They need them in all of our schools. Every day I drop my kids off, my main concern is that they're going to be safe inside the building and when they're leaving.
And some parents are hoping for better mental health resources.
It's really taking a deep dive into looking at what you're doing in the school to teach conflict resolution, to really teach interpersonal skills, interpersonal engagement, anger management.
During Tuesday's virtual PGCPS safety meeting, both of those topics were addressed.
If these items were available immediately, we would probably move forward with the installation immediately.
So beyond our school counselors, we've rolled out training where there are lots of teachers who are now certified in being able to teach social emotional learning lessons.
And Superintendent Millard House II sends a clear message.
Anything that threatens the safety of students and staff is, quite frankly, unacceptable and will not be tolerated.
Parents are hoping to see some changes soon. Reporting in Prince George's County, I'm Yamarissa Say, DC News Now.
All right, let's get a first check in the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb, who has a sliver of good news tonight.
Yeah,
a sliver.
Some sunshine tomorrow.
Yeah, just a very quick glimpse of some sunny skies making its way across the region. I think it happens fairly on the early side, too, especially Western Maryland, Baltimore County, Anne Arundel, Annapolis area. You're going to get started first around 8, 9 a.m., so that's a good start to your day, right? It's about the finish, though, and that makes its way into Northern Virginia and Southern Maryland. You'll finish off well. Tonight, we are seeing partial clearing. However, we've been seeing visibility issues all day long, and it's due to the sporadic nature of a little bit of mist and drizzle that's making its way across the region. You can see Woodstock out towards Kaiser. You can only see a mile in front of you, so that's definitely reduced visibility. Baltimore County into Frederick, Maryland, a little bit more of a plateau area, and that's why you have visibility issues. It's chilly out, it's cold, it's damp. It's not the kind of pattern you want to be out in, and so tomorrow that change kind of switches just for a short period of time before more wet weather is in store into our forecast. Fredericksburg, I see you 60 degrees right now. Waldorf into Annapolis into the upper 50s to lower 60s. So the rest of your evening, overnight, mostly cloudy. Let's track in this sunshine, and then Thursday, Friday, how much rain will we see? I have those answers coming up.
Janessa, thank you. And developing tonight, the Hollywood writers' strike is now over. WGA board members approved a contract agreement with studios just a couple of hours ago. Now, writers are now free to work starting at midnight after nearly 5 months of strikes. The writers still have to vote to ratify the contract themselves. Now, as of now, there are no negotiations set between actors and the Alliance of Studios, streaming services, and producers.
Hey, developing now at 10 o'clock, the U.S. Senate passing a bipartisan bill to temporarily avoid a government shutdown, but it's still unknown if it'll pass through the House.
Yeah, so currently House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is having trouble convincing hard-right Republicans who want to severely cut spending. The bill from the Senate would then keep the government funded through November 17th. It would also provide an additional $6 billion to support Ukraine and $6 billion for U.S. disaster relief. Both of those are divisive issues for House Republicans, and they say they plan to stick with their own plan.
If the president was willing to change part of his plans along this border, we can fund this government going forward.
Well, McCarthy has his own stopgap spending plan, but it's unlikely to pass the Democrat-controlled Senate, and a handful of hard-right conservatives in the House say they would not vote for it. Now, a shutdown would have a big impact beyond just the work lawmakers are doing on the Hill. It also impacts the work local businesses are able to do as well. Our Meryl Carbone live tonight from Eastern Market.
And so she's been talking to restaurants about a potential shutdown. And Marielle, they say a shutdown can really drive business way down.
Yeah, it can, because if those federal workers aren't going to work, that means they're not taking lunch breaks, they're not hosting dinner meetings. All of this, it really has a ripple effect that can lead to quiet dining rooms and empty wallets for people in and around the area of Capitol Hill.
I'm optimistic. I will remain to be optimistic until and if it actually happens.
But Sean Townsend, CEO of the Restaurant Association of Metropolitan Washington, says businesses can't ignore what's happening at the Capitol. A looming government shutdown if Republicans and Democrats can't agree to a spending plan.
This will be a tragic change to the industry if we allow this to happen.
He says a shutdown, furloughing workers and stopping government business causes a ripple effect, which trickles down to local businesses like restaurants.
That removes the morning coffee, that removes the lunch, that removes the happy hour and the dinner. These are all things that just haven't come back from the pandemic. And I mean, just a shutdown would just squeeze restaurants even more.
And he says business owners are worried.
It scares people because we know what this could potentially look like.
Last time this happened, 2018 into 2019, restaurants saw a drop of between 20 and 60% in sales. And that was pre-pandemic.
Restaurants are relying on these workers right now. And if they are furloughed, the margins are already thin in the industry. This could take some restaurants out potentially.
And Chef Jose Andres says that he's working with his area restaurants to come up with a plan to be able to support federal workers if a shutdown does happen. He also says World Central Kitchen is ready to go as well. Reporting live from Eastern Market tonight, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
Marielle, thank you. Developing now at 10, opening arguments today in the trial of a former Loudoun County Public Schools superintendent. Scott Ziegler is charged with 3 misdemeanors. Our Northern Virginia reporter Haley Milan was in court today and explains the charges.
Yeah, I've covered the Loudoun County Public Schools sexual assault scandal since 2021, back when it all unfolded. Now, the allegations that are before the jury this week are concurrent to the ones that landed the division in the national spotlight. Prosecutors are arguing that Ziegler fired former special education teacher Erin Brooks after she testified to that special grand jury. Brooks took the stand today. She says she was concerned about an intellectually disabled elementary school student who repeatedly touched her and others sexually. She said she wasn't getting helpful guidance from school officials. She and her teaching assistant took the issue to political operative Ian Pryor, who told the school board during a public meeting that a student was sexually assaulting teachers. Questions arose as to whether the teachers violated student privacy laws. Brooks also filed multiple Title IX complaints. We also heard a tearful testimony from the teaching assistant. Former administrators also took the stand. A lot of the questioning focused on how Brooks' name ended up on a consent agenda that ultimately led to her firing. Multiple school board members are also slated to take the stand. Attorneys for both sides say that they anticipate the witness testimony will wrap up tomorrow before the slate of 9 jurors. Now, Ziegler also faces another misdemeanor count, this one a charge of false publication. That charge is set for trial on February 20th. In Loudoun County, I'm Haley Milan, DC News Now.